lives in the sunlit world of what he believes to be reality. But there is, unseen by most, an underworld, a place that is just as real, but not as brightly lit. A dark side.
The werewolf is the product of a somewhat different karma, since it is always during a man's lifetime that he first manifests under this form. It invariably implies some knowledge of magical arts, sufficient at any rate to be able to project the astral body.
Oh, leeches off, I've been dropping these snakes in the street. Leave me beat, get it straight. Family doesn't mean you can talk down on me. I spit and I'll receive. I see blood in my brain when I think of your face. Wanna go have a talk with you, lost not a trace. I'll escape from descent and my fate overclaim. Watch me go, wonder who turned away. I love what dies enraged by this game that they made. It's your rage and your pride that will keep me at bay. Don't want anything more to do with your name. You brainless parasite, fucking sick of your games. LUCID'SHADE, what I claim that's a night penetrated by light like the break of the day. Watch me fake, let's be blazing. Far too late to say what you wish that I do with the bank. Can't complain, fucking drain me away when I stay so I'm gone. I keep nothing to take.
There are certain circumstances under which the body may be seized upon by other astral entities and materialized, not into the human form, but into that of some wild animal, usually a wolf. They will range the surrounding country, killing other animals, and even human beings, thus satisfying not only its own craving for blood, but that of the fiends who drive it
Never
on.
long for the younger, so wait on the faith. Until then I'm descending again and again. Pop the lock on my coffin, I'm calling up out of the realm of the dead. Steady rotting, cough upward, I've got to express. Never let myself rest for this weight in my chest, but it seems to recede with each passing of breath. Proceed to believe in the process and follow my feet. Summer comes, winter dies, play that shit on repeat. Though the storm may be beaten, will not be defeated. As long as the stars go on glowing, we'll live moving on in new ways. Find new pattern and play a new game to perceive on myself in a place of strength. For the new day, what the future will bring will be in perfect place. Long as the stars go on glowing, we'll live moving on in new ways. I transmute form in space.
In this case, as so often with the ordinary astral body, any wound inflicted upon the animal materialization will be reproduced upon the human physical body by the extraordinary phenomenon of repercussion.
Lives in Tales from the Crypt, rated PG.
The Shade. When the separation of the principles is complete, the karma loka life of the person is over. But just as when he dies to this plane, he leaves his physical body behind him, so when he dies to the astral plane, he leaves his karma rupa behind him. But the majority of mankind make but very trifling and perfunctory efforts while on earth to rid themselves of the less elevated impulses of their nature, and consequently doom themselves not only to a greatly prolonged sojourn on the astral plane, but also to what cannot be described otherwise than as a loss of a portion of the lower manas. A certain portion of this lower manas becomes very closely interwoven with karma, and when the separation takes place, his life in karma loka being over, the manasic principle has, as it were, to be torn apart.
Anyway, no new futures will come into play. It's impetuous pace, and if they will be defined in time. I've devised my fair share of escapes from unbearable pains, and attain will transmute my mistakes to elixirs of wisdom, attest to my spiritual state. Augmenting emotion, I'm drinking the dregs of the potion, elated and faded straight out of this plane when I step off the stage. If a long lonely sleep vegetated, but they need some love for the hate. Keep the faith, we got nothing to fear. There's nothing I can say that would capture the sea phase. If that's the two cracks again, catch me beneath the waves. Let it go to the tide, free to flow with the sea. At long last, the vast ocean inside us appears. Life is too short to strain. I've already released everything.
Thus comes into existence the class of entity which has been called the Shade, an entity, be it observed, which is not in any sense the real individual at all.
Let me see what you hide just beyond the horizon. Compared to unveil the truth behind the lies. Can't keep being complacent. I'm cutting these ties. Want to take to the skies. Elevated, less physical state. Still on so cold and clear. I felt drained since I opened my eyes. So the curtains can close anytime. Now you feel to be real anyways. I'm out shit every day anyway. And the future soon come into play. Tempestuous pace. Any fate will be defined in time. I devise my fair share of escapes from unbearable pains. And attain what transmutes my mistakes to elixirs of wisdom. Attest to my spiritual state. Augmenting emotion. I'm drinking the dregs of the potion. Elated and faded. Straight out of this plane when I step off the stage.
It must necessarily suppose itself to be the individual, but one can imagine the horror and disgust of the friends of the departed if they could only realize that they had been deceived into accepting as their loved one a mere soulless bundle of all his worst qualities. Though it may possess a great deal of a certain sort of animal cunning, from its very nature, it is exceedingly liable to be swayed by all kinds of evil influences. It therefore lends itself readily to various minor purposes of some of the baser sort of black magicians. As it possesses, gradually disintegrates and returns to its own plane, and thus the shade fades by almost imperceptible gradations.
I have seen the dark shadows moving in the woods, and I have no doubt that whatever I have resurrected through this book is sure to come calling for me.
No, it was the woods themselves. They're alive, Ashley.
The vampire and werewolf. These creatures are commonly regarded as mere medieval fables. They are really relics of earlier races. The abandoned personalities must always be a very small minority. Though they differ very widely in many ways, we may yet perhaps group them together, since they have in common the qualities of unearthly horror and of extreme rarity.
Top the world to the sediment, emerge benevolent, burning a delicate sedative. Even for the words to express exercise what I've learned to neglect. Just relaxing the mind till I'm down in the depths. It again, I'm the skeleton settling into the elements. Lost my sentiments, losing a pessimist, gaining some space. I'm afraid I'm not hesitant as that development elevate me in exuberance, merge with the ghost and intelligence, free and release. It's the birds of the air with the fish of the sea, be unworried by turbulence. Turn with the wave, leaving burdens behind, leaving jump to the tower when I go for a ride. No, we all float alright, but nobody here gets to the life, so I'll ride to the elegant sky till I'm closing my eyes for the night.
Still, comparatively few though they be, they do exist, and it is from their ranks that the still rarer vampire is drawn. The lost entity would very soon after death find himself unable to stay in Karma-Loka, and will be irresistibly drawn in full consciousness into his own place, the mysterious 8th sphere, there slowly to disintegrate after experiences best left undescribed. If, however, he perishes by suicide or sudden death, he may, under certain circumstances, if he knows something of black magic, hold himself back from that awful fate by a death in life, the ghastly existence of the vampire.
Top of the woods of the sediment, emerge benevolent, burning a delicate sedative. Young for the words to express exercise what I've learned to neglect. Is reflecting the mind till I'm down in the depths. And again, I'm the skeleton settling into the elements. Lost my sentiments, losing a pessimist, gaining some space. Not afraid, I'm not hesitant. Asset development, elevate me in exuberance. Merge with the ocean, intelligence, free and release. It's the birth of the air with the fish of the sea. Be unworried by turbulence, turn with the wave, leaving burdens behind. Leaving jump to the top when I go for a ride. Now we all float alright, but nobody here gets to the life. So I'll ride to the elegant sky till I'm closing my eyes for the night.
Since the 8th sphere cannot claim him until after the death of the body, he preserves it in a kind of cataleptic trance by the horrible expedient of the transfusion into it of blood drawn from other human beings by his semi-materialized Kamaruka, and thus postpones his final destiny by the commission of wholesale murder.
Death lives. Who's next? Perhaps you? waiting for us to enter, waiting to enter us. Until next time, try to enjoy the daylight.